Hey, there's Professor Paul, and we are back. This time we are going to be looking at the if function in Excel. Now, an if statement or an if function in Excel is used to test a condition and perform a specific action based on the results of that test. So, for example, if the condition is a logical test and it returns either a true or false value, the basic syntax for an if statement is if condition, or if the expression that you are evaluating is true, it will return the value that you want for true, and otherwise it will return the value that is false. So today we're going to look at three examples. The first one is just the basic if function. We are going to write a formula that results in a pass if the student's grade is greater than or equal to 80, and a fail if it's less than 80. Then secondly, we'll look at nested if function. Then we're going to write a formula that will result in the status of above budget if the actual amount is greater than the budgeted amount. So if the actual amount, like here, is greater than the budget amount, we'll want it to say above budget. Then we want to say under budget if the actual amount is less than the budget amount. So here we have actual amount will be less than the budget amount, so we'll want to see under budget. Otherwise, we'll want to see on budget. So in this particular case, it will say on budget. And then finally, we're going to look at a scenario where you might want to use multiple if statements or if functions. And just like in a regular class, you have grades of might be anything 90 and above is an A, anything from 80 to 89 is a B, anything from 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 a D, and 59 below. So we're going to write a formula that results in an A if the student grade is greater than 89, B if greater than 79, C if greater than 69, D if greater than 59, or then an F if it's 59 and below. All right, so let's get into it. But before we do, hey, if you're enjoying these tutorials, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified of the next video that gets uploaded. All right, let's jump into it. All right, so for this first function, if function, we want to write a formula that will result in a pass if the student's grade is greater than 80 or a fail. So it's a really simple one. We're going to write it down here in these columns. So what we're going to do is we'll use the function for this one. You click function, and you'll see I have if right up here. But if you don't see if immediately, just go up here, type if, and it'll bring it up for you if you haven't used it recently. And double click on that, and then it wants a logical test. So we're going to look at the grade. And if that is greater than or equal to 80, we want it to say pass. And see, as I hit my tab down, it automatically put the quotes around, so that's nice. Otherwise, we want to say fail. And there you go. Now we will just run that on down. And here, we're 80 or above. We're above 80. We're below 80. Below 80. Below 80. Above and above. And that's it. It's that simple. Just if the expression, what happens if it's true, and then what happens if it's false. All right, let's jump into a nested if function. And here we want to write a formula that results in above budget if the actual amount is greater than the budgeted amount. We want to say under budget if the actual amount is less than the budgeted amount. Otherwise, we want to say on budget. So for an example where it's equal. Right, so this is a little bit more complicated. We are going to start with typing it in ourselves here. And just like last time, we want the condition that we're looking for. So what we want to look at is if actual budget is greater than budgeted then we want it to say above budget. Then what do we want to say if it's not above budget? Well, we want to say either under budget or on budget. So in this particular case, we have to type another if statement. So we type if. In this case, we're going to look for the same thing. If C3 is this case is less than B3, we want it to say under budget. And then finally, if this is false, we want it to say on budget. And we'll close this twice because we have our parentheses here and we have an outer parenthesis, so we'll have to close it twice. There you go. So it does show us that this is above budget, but will it work for the rest? So you'll see, yes, this one shows under budget, so we're green. This one is also above budget. This one is on budget. This is some conditional formatting that I put in place, and it's using the same kind of if formula, and we'll talk about this in a later tutorial. All right, let's go into our final scenario, a multiple if function. So in this particular case, we want to write a formula that results in A if the student's grade is greater than 89, a B if greater than 79, so if the C is greater than 69, and a D if greater than 59, and an F if it's below. So this is just going to be multiple nested if functions. So we're going to start off again, hit our equal sign, excuse me, and if the value in C3 is greater than 89, we want it to return an A. Then, if the value in C3 is greater than 79, we want it to return a B. Then, if the value in C3 is greater than 69, we want to return a C. If the value in C3 is greater than 59, we want it to return a D, else we want it to return an F. And we have to close this multiple times. See there? All right. And it will fill in whatever we need as we go here. So that is definitely a B. We'll take it on down. You can see that that's above the 90. That's above the 69, or the, excuse me, yes, that's above the 69. Above the 59, below a 59, or actually it's at 59, then 100 and there. All right, well, I hope this will help you in your use of the if function, as well as some scenarios that it can be used in. There are tons of other scenarios out there you can do it as well. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And until next time, this is Professor Paul, and we'll see you.